Thank you, David. I'm Hedi. I'm an IT director in Orlando Utilities Commission. I know I'm one of the few that's standing between you and the dinner today. So when David asked me whether I can be the first presenter, I easily obliged because I want to get to that dinner too. But anyways, in terms of big data analytics, I'm here to talk to you about smart metering and how Orlando Utilities were able to capitalize on our investment for smart meters and able to harness data analytics, enable us to garner not only cost savings, but for us to be able to have information that's actionable, that we can best align our business process in the way that we can serve our customers. So my agenda, introduction, I'll just give you a little bit about OUC, the approach, the results, the savings, and we can get the questions later. I think that's what David wants because I only have 20 minutes. So, OUC, our vision is to be recognized as the best utility in the nation. I know that's a tall order, but I think we are becoming closer and closer to our vision. We're one of the most reliable electric utilities in the nation, and I will discuss about our Hedi and LBAR scores. We're ranked second in Florida in customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. We've implemented over 10 major IT projects in 18 months and another 4 in the next months. The previous speaker, the previous session to this session says, in order to do industrial Internet of Things, there's many, many, many pieces, and that's true for us. In order to get to where we are, there are many, many projects that were involved. And last year, we won the Best Smart Grid Infrastructure Award in the large utility category for North America by CS Week and Electric Light and Power magazine. So we're very proud of that achievement. Why did we choose Oracle and its MDM product? It was very timely for us. At that point, we were trying to implement a different solution. At that point, I don't want to blame anybody. I think I want to blame ourselves. We're not at that maturity level in terms of our governance and project structure, that it didn't make sense and it didn't work for us. So we employed Oracle. They have a crawl walk model that enabled us to be able to go back on our feet within 6 months. Their product have a turnkey solution that we were able to take advantage, and it worked for us. And you can see that we're still progressing on that crawl walk stage. We're now on the run, but certainly there's a lot more to be done. What were the OUC imperatives? We want to be able to have full AMI for both our water and electric. It's commonplace for electric, but water, there's very few. I'm very proud to say that all our meters, both water and electric, are AMI. We want to make sure that we keep our Hedi and LBAR ratings in North America. As I've mentioned, we are very proud to be one of the most reliable. We want to be able to capture that and put full IVR web capabilities, harnessing those investments, as well as get prepaid metering, achieve real-time connects and disconnects for our customers, and at the same time be green, avoid rolling our tracks and being enable more of automation along the way. And as you can see, we are set to revolutionize the way that we interact with our customers by leveraging these technologies. At the center of all of this is the meter data information. Of course, we collect from our meters 15-minute interval, and that's a lot of big data. So in order for us to be able to process that appropriately, we have to install an MDM system that has a best use of a solution, an out-of-the-box scroll stage that will enable us to harness those information. That will enable advanced data analytics and will be able to present customer dashboard as well as our call representative dashboards, real-time payments, and all use of advanced IVR and web. So as you can see here, MDM is the center of that, and that goes back to getting the big data from our meters. Our implementation approach, we first center on being able to get up and running or on electric from a meter to cash. It's it's crawled because we just want to make sure we understand. It was a greenfield at that time, so we want to make sure that the second time we do this, that we do this correspondingly with the right vendor as well as with the right solution, and that we're not overwhelming ourselves in our approach as well as in our checkpoints. So we started that way, and then we moved to more complex billing on our next walk phase, as well as with the web presentment and automation and move in, move out, that stop-start service. And then right now, we're currently integrating it in an outage management system, so our customer will be informed before probably they even know there is outages on their area through the use of our smart meter, smart grid infrastructure. So what did we harness, upon this? Well, we were able to give our customer an ability to be able to see their usage, through a use of a dashboard. That's one of the approach that we're trying to get for, and this is probably, I'm having some technical. I'm sorry?
PowerPoint just crashed. It'll be back.
Okay, I'll improvise. The PowerPoint crashed, and I only have 14 more minutes to go. No pressure in this, but let's fast forward to where I am. That was quick, thank you. Don't need to improvise as much. This is just a quick representation of how many projects we have. So it's not only the AMI deployment for water and electric meters. It's not only the MDM. There's infrastructure projects. There's head-in system alignment for AMI. And there's advanced analytics. There's prepaid dashboards. All of those that I've mentioned that comprises, how we're able to piece things together and connect them and be able to harness from our big data. Here is a quick representation of the data flow from the smart meter to the head-in system that collects it from their gatekeepers, that feeds into our MDM system, that interfaces back and forth at the back end with our CIS system to enable to pull accurate information for our customers, as well as for the billing per component for that operations. So what were the results? Well, it's a beautiful thing. At least it's a beautiful thing for us. I hope it's a beautiful thing for you too. From the old way that we do customer reconnection, the manual way, where we roll tracks, it takes us about 24 hours to be able to do that, even with slight automation, as you can see there. With the new one, our goal is 15 minutes, and you would see we actually have exceeded our goal. So from the payment, we have a lot of payment centers. We probably have 500 payment centers across the whole jurisdiction that we have. We closed our service centers, so our main goal is that each and every customer would have within their 2-mile range a payment center, whether that's AMSCOT, whether that's CVS, Publix, whether that's Radio Shack. They should be able to pay OUC bill, because that is important for us. Payment is always welcome, and for us to be able to process that in real time. So from the time that they pay any payment service center, it goes to our XML gateway for our DMZ zone, goes to our ESB, goes to our MDM, and then goes to our head-in system, flip the switch, come back, this the confirmation. It's less than 15 minutes. Again, our goal initially was 15 minutes, but we have exceeded that goal. So the elapsed time, if you will really, is about 12 minutes. So there was a customer who actually literally paid, and then when they came back, drive back home, their lights were on, and they actually called us and say, do I really have anything due? Because my light was on. Maybe I should have not paid. I said, no. By the time you drive and came back, we actually have turned on, because it's through a reconnect from our smart meters when you pay. And it's actually even less when you do it directly from our IVR or web application. It's actually around 7 minutes if you do it through that interface instead of our payment vendors. What other resorts did we garner from this? The data from the meter provide us a lot of avenues. We're able to do meter services, able to detect failing or malfunctioning or about to malfunction meter. So therefore, if our people are en route, we should be able to service that correspondingly instead of being caught off guard for it malfunctioning and also disrupting our customers. We're able to also identify theft, bypass, and some, actually, we were amazed at how creative people are to be able to get free energy. And fortunately, through a 15-minute interval, you can see and you can predict, and there's a lot of pattern that would assist you to say, hey, they're doing something very creative here. We always encourage creativity, but not when it comes to getting our payments, and, electricity is a commodity. Billing, we're able to see whether it's an unusual high bill for them, so we might be able to call our customers before they even call us to say, hey, Mr. Smith, we noticed that your normal business bill is this and it's this much. Is there something unusual? We just want to warn you. So we're being proactive instead of them calling us in an irate motion saying, my bill is normally this beyond. We're kind of being ahead of the game and actually interfacing with them to say, hey, we noticed something different. Is there something that you did differently? In hindsight, we don't want them to call us irate after, the fact. When we're also able to detect a lot on the water side, water leakage, we call them to say, oh yeah, we did have a spike on our water usage because we decided we have a repair in our swimming pool and we have to refill it. Or in Florida, you're only allowed to water twice a week. We're also able to detect if they're watering not the designated day or if they're watering more than twice a week. So those are elements of, the results of the analytics that we're harnessing. Savings, there's many. I just listed a few here. So cost savings as well as time savings. So the harness is not only in terms of being able to save money, it's also saving us in our operations and the time for us to be able to do our, so we're able to repurpose and do a lot of efficiencies. What were our key lessons learned? We find that, being able to do and develop partnership relationship with a vendor, and the vendor understanding us, not necessarily going on full scale on the beginning, doing a crawl, walk, run, and starting small and growing for that, learning more, and then providing incrementing along the way is the one that works for us. We've also chosen a system that we've seen implemented in a lot of ways and that provides a lot of integration. What you might not know is we're an Oracle shop. We run a lot of Oracle applications. So it just makes sense in terms of integration and interfaces. It's easier for us to interconnect those systems because some of them have, or most of them have built-in adapters and integration along the way. To continue to look out there for existing investments and how we can continue to leverage our smart grid infrastructure. Right now, we are on the run phase. We're actually configuring our head-in system and our MDM to talk directly to our OMS. As I said, that is going live this coming August. But our intention is not only now to be able to give them a heads up based on their bills or their usage, but more if there's an outage, if the meter is acting and we can correlate that to the next transformer or whatever is happening at that place, that there is a power outage, that we can inform them ahead of time if they opt in for that type of alerts and proactive alerts. We can also immediately know from our outage management system whether the power is restored on or not yet, so that we can understand better whether there's still a problem, whether there's a tree relations in the problem, and be able to capitalize on that. So that is the next part in motion that we're trying to capitalize on. And for most part, just keep continuing, attending sessions like this to understand how others have benefit more from their smart grid infrastructure and what we can capitalize to continue on progressively leveraging our investment in the smart grid. That's what I have. I think I breezed through it. I have 6 minutes. I'll show that back to Jim, but yeah. Do you have any question? I think I have free 6 minutes to answer any question before the panel. Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Can the customers see their usage semi-real time if they want to?
We're not that real time yet. In order for that type of infrastructure to be real time, you have to deploy probably a massive amount of gatekeeper. So right now, it's not real time. It's close to real time. It's 12 hours of real time, but it's not. If you use it and you want to see that you turn on your dryer and you want to see, what it is online, we're not there yet. However, our vice president of commercial experience, that is the goal. That is really the goal, and we're actually looking into that right now. There are several different designs that we're looking for. It's all about the element of how much we're going to gain, because that, believe it or not, is a very expensive proposition to be able to provide a real time that when you crank something up, you can actually see it on the web, how it's progressing. Go ahead, sir.
Do you charge different rates on different times of the day?
Yes, we do the time of use.
That's for real time.
Yes. Yes, and demand response and helping that, yes. Yes, sir, the gentleman over there. That is also part of our goal, to have distributed energy. We have right now an offering that, if they have solar panels and if they're producing, they can come back and we give them credit. We want to expand that exposure more, so we're looking at, we want to expand our sustainability footprints. Our goal is to be able to expand that a lot more and to see how we can do the microgrid and be having more distributed energy. We have about 245,000 electric customers and about 140,000 water customers. The gentleman over there.
So do you plan to or have APIs that are available for homeowners or businesses to use with third-party software and service providers to do analytics and benchmarking?
Do we plan to making our own? Not at this point. Not at this point. We are actually more a buy versus build, so we don't normally create our own APIs. We do make sure that it complies with the standard ESB configuration when we're integrating and interfacing one application or when we're doing B2B. But we don't. We built our own API just for the purpose of being able to interface with other business to our business, but we're not selling that as part. But if you want to look at our API, we want to look at our ESB standards for web services for, you can call that an API, and that is an API, but it's strictly for, our use with third party when we're transacting business to business with them.